What's up, guys, and welcome to another RP Sunday sermon. In today's sermon, we're going to be diving into the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verses 1 through 8. So if you want, take out your Bible, take out the Bible app on your phone or your computer, wherever you're watching this video, and follow along with me as I read you this powerful scripture. You're not going to want to miss this. So this book, and I'm reading from the New International Version, if you're wondering where I'm reading this from and why it doesn't sound like it was written thousands of years ago, I'm reading from the New International Version. I used to read from the King James Version on this channel, but it just became really difficult for a lot of the translation. Like, I had to translate a lot of what was being said so it'd be easier for, our non-native English speakers to kind of get what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, even me being someone that speaks English myself, it was difficult for me to translate it. So we're sticking with the NIV for now. All right, so this verse starts off by saying, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to uproot. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to tear down, and a time to build. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones, and a time to gather them. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search, and a time to give up. A time to keep, and a time to throw away. A time to tear, and a time to mend. A time to be silent, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time for war, and a time for peace." So what is all this? A time for this, a time for that. One sounds like it's going one way, and then the next thing you know, in the next half of the sentence, it's talking about the complete opposite thing. So what the heck does all this mean? Let's talk about it and how this relates to you and why I'm choosing this scripture for our Sunday sermon. Well, if you haven't realized it yet, you'll realize that there's a time and purpose for everything in life. You've heard that life is like the changing seasons. Just the same way that we're approaching spring at the time of this recording, and we're leaving winter behind. Geez, let me get the seasons right. And then it'll be summer again, nice and hot. And then guess what? Fall will come. The leaves will start turning a different color, and the trees will start slowly changing and dying away. And then next thing you know, winter will be back. The same thing is true in life. One moment you could be absolutely desperate, broke, close to being homeless, maybe living in your car, down to your last paycheck, having to couch surf with family and friends. And then, you slowly but surely get a skill set or work on improving your finances and budgeting better. And you slowly scratch and claw and save up enough in order to get out of that desperate situation and eventually climb to the other side of things and be financially free, back on your 2 feet again. So you went through a change of seasons in your own life. And some of you that are watching this, you're going through your own personal winter. And some of you right now, you might be stepping into your own personal spring where you're about to leap forward and massively explode in whatever you're working on. And you have no idea, because right now you're at the end of your winter and you have no idea how long this will be. And that's what we're going to talk about. But the key is you can't give up, okay? No matter what. Because you have no idea where you are in the seasons of things. Well, you have an idea. Like, if you were in winter, you're going to know you're in winter. But you don't know if you're at the beginning of winter, or the middle of winter, or the end of winter. And that can be for an extended period of time that no one knows. But you have to continue to push forward and grow and develop. You can't give up. So there's a time for everything in your life, like I talked about. And you have to go. It's not like maybe you will go through these things. No, you have to, because we're in this life together, whatever this is. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out, right? You're probably still trying to figure out what is this place. No one has the answers. But no matter what, we're here. You can't just get out of this life. Well, you can, but I think there's consequences to that, and I don't think you should go that route. But we're in this together, so you have to go through the peaks and valleys of life. You just have to. So I drew this little diagram here. This is my hills, the peaks and the valleys. Yes, thank you. The next Picasso, I know. Thank you. It took me like maybe 5 minutes to do all this, to think of this. So I appreciate it. Drop a like for the artwork. But yeah, the arrows it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'm very visual when I learn things. So I like to actually draw out diagrams of what I'm explaining. So as you can see right here, there's a peak. So on the ascension up the peak, that could be coming from a valley, which was maybe a desperate time. You didn't have money, you didn't have the job or the career you're looking for, the education that you needed, the certification that you needed to get the certain income you were looking for. Maybe your girlfriend broke up with you, or she cheated on you or something like that. And this ascension is leading to your peak, which would be, a better girlfriend, or a better job, more money in your bank account, a new car, something like that. That's like a high point in your life. And then eventually that the change of seasons will happen again, and what was once a peak will become a valley, and something else will happen. You have to continuously transform. It's like when you're a human, the butterfly has one transformation where it goes from the caterpillar to the cocoon, then to the butterfly, and it only does that once. Us as humans, we don't actually, like, you don't physically really see us do that. Well, like, some people, it's a dramatic difference in like how they look and how they behave years later on. But like, we don't actually go into like a physical cocoon, so to speak. It's more of like a mental cocoon. And then we're constantly just rebirthing ourselves into new and better, hopefully better people. Okay, as we self-improve and we're on this journey, we're just constantly boom, caterpillar, boom, cocoon, butterfly, boom, caterpillar, cocoon, butterfly. And you gotta just, it just keeps going on and on. It never ends. So obviously, ascension, peak right here, then valley. Something's always going to happen that's going to tear down your peak. You got to stay strong and solid. You're going to hit the rock bottom eventually again. But you got to keep pushing, man. And then you're going to ascend again. If you keep pushing, you don't give up. You're going to reach a peak again. And I put a time bar right here, a time frame, because you don't know how long you're going to be at that peak. So that peak could last 2 weeks. That peak could last a week, or it could last a year or 5 years. You don't know how long that peak's going to be. But while you're in it, enjoy it, but understand this is temporary. I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm not attached to this right now, how I'm feeling and what I'm going through. And prepare for the inevitable, but enjoy the moment, but also prepare and get your ducks in a line for when eventually something will inevitably go wrong. Okay, that's just how life is, because life throws curveballs. Then you hit the valley again. Boom, right here. I put another time frame, and you don't know how long that valley is going to be. So right there, that valley could be 2 weeks. You lose your job and you find another job 2 weeks later. Or it could be 2 months and you have to pull out a lot of your savings while you're job searching. Or it could be 2 years or 3 or 5 years. You don't know how long the valley is. But eventually, if you don't give up, and you keep working on yourself, pushing forward, putting in action, you will climb out of that valley a victorious, better person. You will be reborn out of the cocoon, a little beautiful butterfly again, onto your next journey. So the good news on the bright side is if you're listening to content like this and you're taking action in your life, you're trending up in life in general, because most people, they go to YouTube, they go to social media in general, and they usually watch like funny cat videos or like cooking videos. And I myself, I fall in that category sometimes as well. Mindless content that doesn't really improve your life. You have taken the time to actually click and watch this video up to this point because you want to actually improve your life and learn something and continuously grow and push yourself. So you yourself, you are on your way because of your mindset, because you're different than most people, to becoming that top tier person. And you might be the first one in your family to do this. So congratulations to you. But here's something else I want to point out. Just because you're listening to content like this, I want to replay what I just showed you in this sentence. You have to also not just listen to this, but you have to take action in order to trend up in your life. It's really easy, especially nowadays with all this like motivational content. They have like hour-long affirmations and like night-long, listen to this while you sleep and like you'll manifest this. No, like it helps with your mindset, yes, but like let's take the mindset now and actually apply it in the physical world and put it into action, because that's the only way you'll see a positive result in your life. You have to take what you're listening to, what's motivating you, and use it in the real world to get real world results. And I put, no matter what you're going through, you just have to ride life's waves. Okay, life, I said, peaks and valleys, man. It's gonna go up and down, but you just have to ride it out. And you're in this thing, we're in this thing together. Can't give up. All right. So no matter what it is you're going through, and some of you're probably going through a lot. Okay. I'm going through a lot of transformations right now, trying to figure out a lot of different things. So I'm here with you. Okay. Don't think that I'm not going through the same thing. There's a reason I make some of these videos, because it also like is a reflection of certain things I'm working on myself, and I need to share because I feel like maybe someone else out there is going through the same thing. So we have to ride this thing out together, because we're here. I'm not going to give up, so you shouldn't give up. And I also wanted to kind of relate this to relationships with women as well. Since we're talking about the seasons, and there's a season for this, there's a time for this, and a time for that. Well, women, they cheat because they have a lack of a variety of emotions, because women are emotional creatures. A lot of times, and this isn't the only reason they do, but it's the same day-to-day emotions that women find boring. That's actually what pushes them away from you, because it's boring. Like you're not stimulating what attracts her and what plays with her mind, which is her emotions. You're thinking of her almost like as if she had the same mind as or brain as a guy, and that's not true. Women get stimulated and need constant emotional stimulation, unlike us as men, which is why women can talk and they have all these different emotional spikes throughout the day, and us as guys, we're pretty chill for the most part. And then I wanted to compare that to how the bad boy brings out these emotions, and the seasons of emotions within women, versus the high value man, because both these guys are successful at bringing different emotions to the relationship. Now, the quote unquote bad boy or whatever, he's doing this because most of the time he's a head case himself, and he's just being toxic, and he's just doing his own thing. But a lot of times it's just because he's emotionally imbalanced, and because he's emotionally imbalanced and maybe like even a little abusive or whatever, that brings in the emotional spikes that the woman that he's with will need. Okay, but I'm not saying to go that route. What I'm saying is the high value man, because I'm comparing the two, you want to go that route. The high value man, he's just working on his own thing. Okay, he's not just focused on what his woman is doing. He's working on other things outside of that and trying to improve his life. And therefore, the emotional spike that a woman gets from that is she wants to spend more time with him. Okay, so she gets frustrated because she wants to spend more time with him, but he's focused on his purpose and what he's building. So you see what I'm saying there? There's a difference, okay? There's a difference between the bad boy and the emotional spikes he gives off versus the high value man who's chasing his purpose, and then the woman's chasing that man's validation because he's chasing greatness. Okay, so there's a difference. And then I put women love a variety of emotions, just like the changing of the seasons. Okay, and if you don't give her those changes in emotional states, someone or something will. Okay, she will look for that elsewhere, whether it's in a TV show or drugs and alcohol, going out with her girlfriends, or hanging out with the guy that will give it to her. Okay, just being honest here. So in conclusion, because we want to focus on you as a person, not just the relationship side of things, what season of life are you currently in right now? Are you in a winter? Are you in a spring? Are you in a long season of summer and things are going really well in your life? Or are you at fall time where things are starting to, maybe not look so bright and they're taking sort of a downturn? Maybe you had something recently happen to you. What season are you in? Type that in the comment section below. And then after that, I want to know, what are you working on to reach that next level in your life? Okay, to reach that next peak if you're in a valley, to reach that summertime if you're in a winter. Okay, what are you working on right now to improve your situation? Because guys, we have time to do these things. You'd be surprised how much time, even if you work a 9 to 5, what you can do from 5 to 9, from 5 to 10 when you get off of work in order to work on yourself and improve your life. Even if it's 1 to 2 hours, because I know you got to eat for one of those hours after work or whatever, and spend time with like your loved ones too. But you do have to sacrifice things to get ahead. So what is it you're doing right now to improve and get to that next level, that next peak in your life? What are some of your goals and what season are you in? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, we want to get this video out to more guys. So like the video, smash the like button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a blessed rest of your day. Peace.